Done, everyone?
Hello. Yes.
Yep. Login Salan ready?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll continue. Okay, so this is the overview of the APM. Okay, this is the scope. Okay, so first of all, we have to define the items. Okay, so the items that we will define is the machine that we will perform the service on, and also the spare part. Okay, so this is the first part. All right. So how do we create item with the product code machine and also product code spare part? Okay. Next, after that, we will go through a form called service item. Okay. So in the form, we can define the partners. Okay. So a partner can be vendor or employee. Okay. Partner is actually the ones responsible. Okay, for the handling of the machine. Okay, so this one we will go through together, and also we can all define certification. Okay, certification is people with any person with the certain specification that is defined to handle this machine. Okay, will be defined in service item. Same with warranty and skills. Okay, so you can define the warranty and also the skills that are needed to handle the machine. All right. So from there, we will go through SRO template. Okay. So what is SRO template? Okay. So SRO template is a tool that you define once. Okay, the template, then you can use it concurrently. So in SRO template, the things that will be defined is the operation. Okay, the lines and also the duration and SRO type. Okay, so later on we will go through this. Okay, so from here we will go to units. Okay, so unit is what is the form where you maintain the maintenance schedule. Okay, and from there we will go through the automatic generation utility where you will generate your service orders. Okay, so this is where normally um, where you define or where you generate your service orders. Okay, so we can also generate SROs manually as well. Okay, and then lastly, we will go through the SRO transaction. So this is where you issue the spare part or you want to buy the spare part. Okay, and also create your PR is from here. Okay, so to begin, we go through service items. Okay, how do we create items? Okay, so if any of you cannot create the item in items form, you let me know and I will allow the access because this is CRP. Okay, so this one is actually in items. Okay, if your organization does not allow you to create the item, then you need to ask them to create it for you. Okay, so how do we define um, machine and also spare part? Okay, so we go through this first, then later on we will go in the form. Okay, so um, from here in your current system, okay, when you create your machine, okay, these are the standard parameters that you use, okay, for your machine. So let us just create. Someone is here. Okay, so please open your item form. We will create one machine that we will use for the training. Okay, so whoever cannot open or cannot create the item form, please let me know. Okay, and make sure it's a CRP, BMP, MY. Do not create in live. Okay, so how do we define machine? Okay, if you do not know how to define it, you can actually just refer to your current machines that you have. Okay, so I'm just going to create here. Okay, so I'll put my prefix in front so I know that this is mine. Okay, so for the unit of measurement, I will use DC type, material, source, use purchase. Right. Then I will define this as product code machine. Okay, so for the product code, it's very important to know, okay, to define it as machine. Okay. So if we refer to others machine, okay, the UM is EA and type is other. Okay, so we have to use that. Okay, so please create one item, okay, with these properties, okay, for your machine. So I'll give you 2 minutes to create it. And in any part of the training, if you feel that it's too fast, just raise your hand in the meeting. There is a button to raise your hand, or you can just ask me the question.
So anyone see the screen? Sultan, you okay?
Yes, if another thing is I will record this session. So if you have your own recording software, it's also good that you record. Okay. Then after this training, I will pass the link, okay, to Mr. Sufi or Mr. Anan. Okay, that you can share it. Okay, but it is important that you follow today's training, so you'll be familiar with APM. Okay, so my current time is 9:38, so 9:40 I will ask in whether you have created the machine or not.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just continue. So I assume everyone has created their own machine, okay, in item form. Okay, so I have created for machine. So how do I create for spare part? Okay, so if you're not sure how, okay, you can just go to item form, okay, and filter the product code. Okay, so it's already defined here as APM spare part item, so I will filter by this product code. Okay, so as you can see, these are all your product code. Sorry, all your spare parts in the items form. Okay, so how do I create another one?
Kate, sorry.
Yes.
Machine, the ABC code should be same C, right?
You can just follow the other machines in the item form.
Okay.
Okay, as this it is already defined in your system, so you can just follow it.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so I will now create this a spare part. Okay, so I'll just put in another my prefix. Okay, there may be something like, okay, something like this. Okay, so you can just this one is depending on your spare part that you are going to create. Okay, so I'll just follow what is already I will just follow other spare parts here. Okay, but the important part is actually this product code. Okay, so this one I will use as part. Okay. Okay, so for the item cost, this one I just define for my own item cost. Okay, so this one, if I'm not mistaken, not everyone can access it for item cost. Okay, you need to ask your relevant department to set it for you. Okay. In this one, I just want to show you how to create a spare part. Okay, but actually later on, you can actually just use all the spare parts that you have here. Okay, so this is just for me to show you how to create. Okay, but for cost and quantity on hand, you need to ask your relevant department to define it for you. Okay, so this one I don't want to go too further, right? Because this is just the prerequisite before you start your APM. Okay, so if you yes,
Never mind, never mind.
mm.
But bin location, where is it?
Sorry.
Because in the spare part we have some area we label as a pin number, right? So the information.
The information for okay.
The one in stock room.
So another form stock room. Okay, all right.
Mm.
Okay.
So this one, as I see, is just in here lah, the warehouse, main warehouse.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So we have created one machine, okay, and one spare part. Okay, but actually later on you can just use whatever spare part that we have here. Okay. So any questions before I move to service items? If not, I will continue. Okay. So next will be service items. Okay, so whatever you have created in items form, okay, it will appear in service items form. Okay. Okay, so in service item, okay, you just have to filter the machine that you have created. Okay, so it should be this one. Okay, so in this form, what are the important part? All right. Okay, so first of all, this general, just leave it be. Okay. So in warranty, you can define your warranty of the machine. Okay. So how do I add warranty if I want? Okay. So I just right click. Oh, it's not here. Okay. So you just open a form called warranty codes. Okay. Then you just create your warranty. But as I can see here, and also in live that you will not use warranty codes. Okay, but if you want, you create it here. Okay, so let me just create one. Okay, so if you want to use your warranty, okay, you create there. Okay, they just select it here. Okay, these are just like you want to add additional information on your machine. Okay, so certification and skills also you can define here. Okay, so this is actually used if you are using scheduling. Okay, there's a module called scheduling. If you want to schedule, this one was explained previously, okay, on the previous training. Okay, so scheduling is more things that you need to handle. Okay, to assign particular person for the machine. Okay, so but if you want to define certification and skills, okay, in the beginning also you can define it. Okay, so this is the same thing. How do I create? How do I assign certification and skills? I can just right click here. Okay, I can just add. Okay. Hmm.
Aduh, macam tak boleh filter main machine tak keluar pun machine Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Can I know what is the name of your machine?
Shafi'i underscore something.
Okay, there is a machine here. Okay, so how do I filter? All right, so you can actually just copy from your items form, your item name. Okay, then I just paste it here, something like this.
Oh,
Okay.
I need to put star, Okay.
The star, if you like, let's say you just know a few letters of
Okay.
your item. Okay, just put there, it will appear.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
All right, no problem. All right. So if you want to add certification and skills, you can just add it. Okay. So how do I add? I just right click and add here. Okay. And as well as skill is the same thing. Okay. So these are the skills that was defined previously. Okay. So maybe I just use any skills here, right? So what does these two properties mean? Okay, is a person that you want to assign for the handling of this machine must have these skills and this certification in order to operate the machine. Okay, so this one, okay, let me be clear, it won't actually restrict you to assign any user during the SRO generation or the transaction. But this one will be used in the scheduling. Okay, there is a module called scheduling. Okay, if you want to assign the machine in the scheduling, it's in a calendar form. Okay, later on, when we have time, I will show you to assign the technician or key person to handle the machine. Okay, so these are actually optional. Okay. All right. So contract rate, we will not be using this. Okay. The important part is the maintenance tab here. Okay. So this maintenance tab, we have to define, okay, before we move on to units. Okay. As you know, units is actually a multiply of the machine. If let's say you have this machine called key machine test, okay, but you have five units of the machine. Okay, so you don't want to define the same item 5 times, okay, but you just want to have five units of this item. So this one I will show you later. Okay, but before you define the unit, you need to define the maintenance here. Okay, so when you create the units, it will bring over the maintenance schedule from here. Okay, so this is you define these ones, and if let's say you want to create another machine, so you have to define you want to create a unit of the machine, you have to define the maintenance in units. Okay, so this one is for the beginning. Before you create the units, you need to define the maintenance schedule here. Okay, so what are the things that we need to define? Okay, so I will have to explain to you each column what it meant. Okay, so the first part, we have the SRO type. Okay, we need to select the SRO type. This is a required field. Okay, so this one, SRO type, we have already defined. Okay, what SRO types that you'll be using. Okay, for APM. Okay, so this was defined already, so you don't need to create it, you just select. Okay, but for the sake of this training purpose, I will just show you how to add it. Okay, so in order to create SRO type, you can open the form, okay, or you can just add, right click here and click add. Okay, so this one is actually you define the product code, okay, and the billing type. Okay, but for BMP, we actually use SRO type to define the frequency. Okay, to show you the frequency. Okay, so let me just filter it out. Okay, so for example, we have defined, okay, so these are the SRO types that we defined for you already. Okay, we have the ad hoc maintenance. This one is if you want to do the maintenance on the day itself, okay. And then we have bi-monthly, we have daily, okay, we have half year, monthly, quarterly, and weekly. Okay, so you just have to just select from here which SRO type that you want to use. Okay, because this one, okay, all this we just leave it as is, just we want to show what is the frequency for this service item. Okay, so for example, I want to use this for weekly check. Okay, so if you already define this as weekly, you still need to define the frequency here. Okay, this is just to show you. Okay, or this one I want to use it for weekly, so I need to define here as weekly. Okay, so all right, so the next part is the frequency. Okay, so for frequency, we have every once and annually. Okay, so if you click every, okay, these two columns will be disabled. Okay, you have to choose duration type, okay, and the duration. Okay, so if it's weekly, I will put every 7 days. So this is weekly. Yeah? Okay, so for BMP, all the frequency of the machine and the units we use every. Okay, so if you use once, okay, meaning it will just occur once only. Okay, so let's say you want to occur once, so meaning on this in 7 days only it will occur once. Okay, so we're not going to use that. Okay, for annually, you define the month and the day. Okay, so let's say I want to have this maintenance every 5th of every 20th of May. So this is how you define it. Okay, so when you use annually, the due date, duration, and duration type will be disabled. Okay, but for BMP, we only use every. Case because it is a preventative maintenance. Okay, So that's why we use every. So we just put in. So let's say this one is weekly. We put in the SR type as weekly. Okay. So for frequency, you always use every. Okay. The date duration and duration type, I will use 7 days. So this one will define it as weekly. Okay. And also previously when I define the master file. Okay. When I got the master file, every machine will use days. Okay. So all these three things, okay, you just ignore it. Okay, you just use days. If you, let's say you use monthly, okay, you just define it as 30 days. Okay, if you use it as daily, then this one of course every 1 day lah, right? So weekly will be 7 days. So this is how you define your maintenance. Okay. So any questions before I move to the next one? So if I'm going too fast, please stop me. So anyone okay? So everyone's okay?
Understand, yeah?
Yeah, this one is important. Okay. So everyone is like
Sing
very quiet.
like, semua
So,
terfaham je. Okay lah.
okay. All right. So I will just move on. Okay. So then we have the downtime and the lead time. Okay. So this one also, as I see, you not be using, but so what is this about? This So let me refresh. Hold on, Okay, weekly day 7. Okay, downtime. Okay, downtime by definition is actually the duration your machine will be offline. Okay, so this one, if let's say your maintenance um, duration for the machine will be 2 days. Okay, so you put here 2 days. Okay, so this one will be lead time type. Okay, sorry. Downtime is always will be days. Okay, it will not be like this one. This duration type we have month, year, and meter, but this one will always be days. Okay, so downtime is the duration your machine will be offline for maintenance. Okay, but in this form, okay, in this column, is actually just to add, okay, on your duration. Okay, so let's say you put here 7 days. When you put your downtime as 2, so it will have, so it will do the maintenance every 9 days. Okay, so this one is to just add to your duration time. Okay, can you understand for downtime? Okay, so for lead time, sorry, lead time is the preparation time, okay, for the machine to do the maintenance. Okay, so before we, let's say your, let's say your maintenance is every 7 days, okay, but it will add the lead time. Lead time is preparation time to do the maintenance. It will add on to the duration. So this 2 column is to just add the additional time for your maintenance date. So you will have more things to actually prepare in order to do your maintenance. So we want to keep it simple. Okay, so this was discussed previously, so we will not be using these 2 things. So your maintenance date will always be every 7 days. Okay. Then the lead time type is the same. You can just select here. Okay, so let's say your preparation time is 2 days, so you just put 2 days. Okay, so these are not required. Okay, these 3 columns. Okay, but I just have to explain it to you. All right, next part, we have the start date. Okay, start date will be when your start date for this maintenance to begin. Okay, so if you put here 11th of March, Okay, so it will start from today and the next maintenance date will be the next 7 day. Okay, so the next week will have another maintenance schedule. Okay, so start date is important for you to define when you want the maintenance to start. Okay, the preventative maintenance to start. Right, so later on during life when you all want to start your APM, okay, so every machine you have to actually change the start date. Okay, if you leave it, if all those units that you have already defined, you just leave it, then the backdated SROs will also be created. So this one you need to discuss when you want to actually start using the APM. So you have to change the start date. Okay. All right. So start date is again when you want to start your um, preventative maintenance. Okay. So start date, I'll just leave it as today for this machine for this trading. Okay. So meter amount. Okay. So this one is if you are using meter. You want to use meter. Okay, for your scheduling. So if you reach production amount, let's say 50,000 or 5,000. Okay, so this one right now in APM you have to key in manually in the units. Okay, so when you put in 5,000, so when it reach 5,000, it will create one maintenance schedule. Okay, so we'll not be using this. Okay, so this one actually in live I've already changed. This one is actually SRO template. Okay, so this one also,
Hold on, Kit.
yeah.
The meter amount should be like a cycle time or what? This one.
Yes, it is actually cycle time lah. Oh, but
Is it
um,
necessary?
it is not necessary. But if you want to use meter amount, you can use it. So meaning, let's say you already produce, let's say 5,000 kg or weightage of the let's say you have something like a, what do you call it, the cement mixer. Okay, let's say you already use that for this certain amount. Okay, then but the thing is in APM you have to manually key in the meter amount. Then only it will generate a maintenance for you. Okay, so if you ask me if is it necessary, it is not necessary. If you want to use meter amount to create your maintenance SRO, yes, you use meter amount lah.
So is not a necessary requirement on this
No,
info?
no, no, it is not. It is not.
It depend on the process owner, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is not necessary.
Mm.
The necessary part, if you ask me regarding this maintenance tab,
Mm.
okay, is the SRO type, the duration, the start
Mm.
date, the template, and the line. Okay,
Uh,
all right. So what is SRO template? Okay, so SRO template is where you define, okay, your SRO template and the units that it will actually do the maintenance on. Okay, so in order to show you what is this about, you need to open the form. So this one will be explained in the further section. So I'm just going to show you briefly what is it.
SRO, that one SRO template, right?
Yeah, it's SRO template. In life, you already changed it to SRO
Oh,
template. I don't know, maybe because uh, who always do the restoration for CRP. I think didn't restore the live form database. Okay, but in live, I've already changed this to
okay.
SRO
Alright.
template. Okay, so this is the form to define your SRO template. So, okay, SRO template is a tool, okay, for you to define, okay, if you already define from here, your SRO template. So when you create your SRO, it will just copy over all the information from here to your SRO. So this one will be clearer when we generate the SRO, okay? So I'm just going to show you briefly what is this about, okay? The reason why we need to have SRO template is because this is a required field in the maintenance tab. Okay, so just going to show you what is it. Okay, so SRO template, okay, we'll have all this information. Okay, so this one was actually already defined. Okay, so as you can see, like for example, the SRO template for machine Xerox copy. Okay, so the way you define it is this is the code. Okay, this is the machine name, and then at the end you put the SRO type. So if it's weekly, I will put here WM, so weekly maintenance. Okay, so and then we also have like this one DM, daily maintenance. Okay, so in SRO template, you can actually define your department, your bill manager, your lead partner, okay, the SRO type, and also the warehouse. Okay, but it is important to have the SRO type here, the same as you already defined here. So let's say this one is weekly. So you need to select SRO template with weekly SRO type in the SRO template, service order template. Okay, so in here, okay, you can select your department. Okay, so this one will also appear in your PR. Okay, bill manager not be using. Okay, lead partner is the key person to handle this template. Okay, so this one later on in life, you just check back your SRO template. Okay, the certain machines that you already have your specified engineers to manage it. Okay, so you just define it here. So when you define all this information, okay, so when you create the SRO, it will copy over all this information. Okay, so as of now, the things that already defined is the SRO type, okay, the warehouse, okay, as well as the product code. So these are the things in SRO template that is required. All right, is the SRO type, the warehouse, and the product code. Okay. So this I will show you just briefly. Later on, I will show you how to create your SRO template. Okay. So as you can see here, the line will always be empty. So any units can use this SRO template. Okay, this one is very important. You have to leave the line as empty. Okay. And then you have the operations. Operations is the process that you want to perform on the machine. Okay, so let's just create one simple SRO template, okay, for this training. Okay, so how do I create it? Okay, you can just open service order templates form. If you are not able to open, you let me know, yeah. Okay, so from here, I just right click and add. Also, it's important if I'm going too fast, please stop me. Okay, because in my mind is some of you have already gone through this before. Okay, so right. So when you right click and add, it will be open this as a service order form. Okay, but if you open service order template, okay, so if you open from here, okay, it will only filter all the SRO templates. Okay, as of now, in live, when you click add, okay, it will open this form, the order template. Okay, but here I think they restored the previous form database. Okay, this one will go to service orders, which is not correct lah. So I already changed it to SRO template. Okay, so from here you can see all the SRO templates that has already been defined. Okay, so if you're not sure how to do, always a good practice is you just refer to other SRO templates so you can create your own. Okay, but during the live when you want to do your own machine, okay, you want to define the SRO template, you can just select it because this one was actually provided by BMP, so I just add it into the system. So you already know which template to use. Okay, but now I just want to show you how to create SRO template. in any case that you have to create. All right, so I just create a new one. Okay, so let's say I want to do the SRO template for this machine. Okay, so I'll just put in my prefix in front. Okay, then this one will be weekly maintenance. All right, machine WM. So this one will be weekly maintenance. All right, then of course the important part. Okay, the SRO type, I will have to use weekly check. Okay, warehouse, so just leave it. Okay, then the product code service. Okay, it might seem that you have a lot of things to fill in, but these are the important things only that you have to key in. All right. So first, the name. Okay, must make sure it is defined properly. All right. If it's weekly, you need to put the WM in front. This is your standard procedure lah for BMP. Okay. Then the SRO type and warehouse, and of course the product code. So these are the things that you need to define for your template header only. Alright, so later on we will go through the lines and operations. So please create it first, then once done, you let me know. I will give you 2 minutes. It will be great that if I have some response from the participants, because I'm not sure whether you guys are doing it as well or not. Mr. Shafi okay Boleh can follow? Seems like very quiet.
Shafi, okay Shafi? I think okay lah.
Yeah.
Guys, are you okay?
Just give you 1 more minute.
Okay, why not we stop 15 minutes for the quick break? 1-5.
Okay, sure. We'll come back at 10:30. Yeah.
So if everyone want to go to smoking, can go. And come back 10:30.
I'll just
Alright, no need to smoke. No need to smoke.
if
Ini kau semua.
Shafi okay, you can follow.
Can.
Actually all this part I just have to show you lah, but this one you will not be frequently using. Okay, all this part lah, but it's the SRO generation and the transaction we'll be using a lot. Okay, so that one I will emphasize on that lah. Okay, so let's have a short break for 15 minutes. Okay, we come back at 10:30. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Git, I'm here.
Yep. Still waiting for the others.
So if you already here.
Yes.
How is the situation over there? Like, does everyone need to work from home or what?
Okay.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. So this is a process and project-based engineer. So
Mhm.
for myself, is project-based. So I working from home, and I need to plan to enter the office bi-weekly. If I want to, I don't want to come to office also can, but need to work from home. But for process engineer, they split into two group. Okay, and half working at office, and then half is working at home. So next week we rotate.
The COVID situation over there, is it improving or what?
Improving after vaccine. I saw the trend is downtrend, right?
Yeah,
After
now I mean
Overall.
this arrangement was made because of COVID, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, hopefully soon will be okay lah.
You already take the vaccine? No,
No, of course not.
right?
I don't think
It's still
so.
going. You already request?
Yeah, of course.
How
Because
long
I
you
want
already
to
work from home, Kit?
since February last year, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, but I still have to go to customer sites lah. But now I think it's been a while already, and in the office still got new staff and also some departments in the office lah. But like technical, actually we can continue working from home. So but because actually this training was supposed to be on site, right? So yeah, because like online, like this one, I don't get much response.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's on site, I
No
think I
choice.
can monitor. Yeah lah.
So for
But you still
BMP,
have.
any
Sorry.
for BMP, any visitor need to have a swab test first before coming.
Oh,
It's a rules.
but you know, actually, I'm getting. Sorry for the sudden news. I'm getting married next month.
Oh,
So I have to
okay.
go to
Congratulations.
Johor. Thanks. Well, I'm
Johor.
getting married
Congratulations
in
and
Muar,
welcome to the group.
in Muar lah.
Wow, okay.
So I have to do COVID test 2 days prior to the wedding.
Wah, lepas ni jadi orang Muar pula.
Itulah. balik kampung, balik Muar lah.
Muar dekat mana?
Muar dekat mana?
Bukit Pasir, Tanjung Gading, Tanjung Agas.
Lah, itu tak sure lah. Tapi rumah dia I think about 15 minutes daripada Pekan Muar tu, yang bandar tu.
Yes, orang Tanjung Agas lah.
Should be lah. Jadi Muar pun tak adalah besar mana kan.
Normally kalau orang Muar dia tanya kawasan mana. That's why I also have a relative at Muar lah.
Oh.
My late father from there. I also have uncle and auntie over there. Bukit
Oh.
Pasir, Tanjung Agas.
Should be kat area di situ lah.
Okay. Asam pedas sedap.
Itulah ada day makan dekat Pagu ada asam pedas tu.
Okay, where's the rest? Syafini.
Yeah. This one already more than
Yeah. Yes, ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
ini ada. Okay. Very important person.
Others? How about the others?
This, Muti, sudah ada Muti?
Yeah, I'm online.
Okay. So I can continue.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so let me see. All right. Okay, so now we add the service order template. So I'm just going to show you how to create, okay, an SRO template and the line also the operations. Okay, so now I have created one SRO template, okay, service order template for this service item. Okay, so I will be using it later. Okay, so now let's say I want to define the department immediately. I also can do it. Okay, so let's say I use engineering. Okay, bill manager, I just leave it be. Okay, but the lead partner, you can actually just select the person who you want to handle the SROs. Okay, so let's say I just use this person. Okay, so when I define all this, every time a new service order created for this machine, it will bring over all this information. Okay, so you don't need to key in again and again and again. Okay. Next is the line and operation. Okay, so for the line, it's important. Okay, you just create it like this. You go to line operation tab. Okay, again, let me show you. Okay, in line and operations tab, you select this lines button. You can also select SRO lines here if you want. Okay, in the lines, all right, you do not need to select the unit and item. You have to leave it be. Why? Is because if you want to use different different unit and item for this SRO template, also you can. Okay, but for SRO template, okay, for the line, you have to leave this be. Okay, you just have to select this quantity. Okay, you just key in as 1 and then you save it. Okay, that is all for the lines. All right. Then now we go for operations. Okay, for the line, you leave it be. Now you go to operations. So operations are the processes, okay, and the operations that you want to perform on the machine every time you create the SRO. Okay, so in this part, the only part that you need to do is enter the operation code. Okay, so in operation code, as you can see, you have already defined quite a number of operations here. Okay, but for the sake of this training, I will create my operations for this SRO template. Okay, how do you create it? Very simple. You just right click and add. Okay, so let's say I want to create some operation code. Okay, something like this. Replace parts or something lah. I'm not sure what is your operation. Okay, so you can just create your operation code. Okay, then you save it. All right. So if I want to have more operations, how do I do it? I just create a new one. Okay, so this time maybe I just want to select from here. Okay, something like this. Okay, you can have more and more operations. Okay, so that is how you create your operations for your template. Very simple. Okay, done. Then it will be filled up here. Okay, so that is all for SRO template. So because we have defined all these things, so every time you create an SRO, it will copy over. So later on, I will show you how this works. Okay, so any questions regarding the service order templates? This one is quite simple. Alright, so if no question, I will just continue. Okay, so now we already have our service order template. Okay, so now we can use it here. Okay, so now this machine, alright, will copy over all the information from this template and also the operations. Okay, so this last SRO is the last SRO number generated for this machine. Okay, so this one normally we don't see it here. We will always see in the units. Later we go through that. All right. Okay, so the schedule basis. Okay, this one you must always select maintenance state. Okay, so what does this mean is it will create the scheduling based on the maintenance date. So once this maintenance is done, so let's say we start from today 11. Okay, so today is done. Then the following one will be on the 7 days. Okay, so this one is just leave this be as maintenance date. And also we need to tick schedule future. Okay, schedule future meaning it will schedule future maintenance date. Okay, so that is all for service items. All right, do you have any questions for this part? Okay, if no, I will continue to service item. Is it okay?
No, okay.
Yep. Mm.
In this column, in this maintenance column, right? Do we have any something like remark we can put as notes?
Notes. Okay, where do you want the notes to appear?
Okay, let's say example, just we down the machine and lead time should and we down the machine because ad hoc
Okay.
job.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a machine down, and unfortunately we don't have spare part. So most probably the spare part we in another 2 days or 3 days, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, so for that one, we do not create the notes or remark here. Okay, perhaps actually like for that part, right? In my previous implementation,
Mm.
this remark we actually create in the service or the automatic generation utility. So remember the form where you just preview and generate the SRO. So
Mm.
let's say you cannot let's say you preview and the generate is on the day that you need to do the maintenance. So if you do not want to create the maintenance sorry, if you do not want to create the SRO on that day, you have to put a remark in the SRO temp generation lah. So that one is actually a customization. Okay, but perhaps when we go through the training, I will actually see where you can actually put in the remark.
Mm.
Okay, so let me see. Yeah, service history. Is it here? Partner status. Okay, so maybe the workaround you can use this actually because previously the question that you asked, right, wasn't brought up, but actually you can use this unit status code. Okay, so let's say okay, let's say I create my unit first. Let me create a unit first. Okay. Okay, then I will add status here down. Okay. Okay, so the word around here, Mr. Ananda, are you here? Can you see this? Mr. Anand?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So what you can do is actually in the units form, okay, on your particular unit machine, okay. So what
Mm.
you can do is you can use this thing called unit status code.
Mm.
Okay, so in unit status code, okay, maybe I can create this. Okay, this one is just an example lah. All right, so actually I created two status. One is down and machine ready to use.
Mm.
Okay, so when down meaning unavailable, so we will not create a maintenance schedule lah. So online means it's ready to use. Okay, so I've created these two. Okay, so once you have select the machine here, okay, in your unit, let's say it's down. So I just select down, I save it. Okay, when I create online, what happened? Oh, cannot. Mm, oh, why this one cannot change? Let me see for a while. Okay, give me a moment. Let me check something. Because previously we did not use this status code, but for your request, I think we need to use it lah. Oh, okay. All right. So every time you change this unit status code, all right, it will appear in
Mm.
the status history here. Okay. So
Mm.
this is a workaround lah. All right. So in the status history, let's say you put it as down here, then you can actually put in the description lah. So let's say I put in down, so meaning the machine is offline. Okay, I put in the description here. All right.
Okay.
So when it's ready, let's say the spare part already you already refill the
In.
the quantity, right? Then you
Mm.
just go to the machine, you choose online, okay, then it will start
Mm.
to do the scheduling lah. Okay, so this is a workaround for you to actually do that lah. Okay, but for previous
Mm.
my previous implementation, okay, they they feel like this is quite not to say tedious, they want to make things as simple as possible, so they requested for customization lah. Okay, so that one was
Mm.
actually the question customization is quite complex lah, but it might seem simple, okay, but actually you can use this unit status code. Okay, so is it okay for you?
Mm. Yes, yes. This
All
is
right.
why, because it's just like something we can refer back. That's why I'm asking whether we can put all this data.
Mm,
Mm.
okay, can. All right. So,
Thanks.
all right, no problem. So let me delete this. See what happens. Right. Okay. So I wanted to create. Okay. Refresh it. Okay, so now we are going to create the units for the machine that we created. Okay, so because we have already defined the maintenance schedule here, okay, so when we create the units for this item, it will carry over all this service item maintenance schedule. Okay, so how do I create the machine? Okay, the unit, very simple. I open units form. Okay, everyone please open the units form. Okay, so in units form, I create new. Okay, so I just paste my item here. Okay, so this is another important part. You need to see the way the unit name is defined. Okay, because I'm not sure is it this version of Sideline or is there any bug. Okay, so the naming must be something like this. If you name it with just numbers, okay, it will have some issue like you cannot bring over the maintenance schedule. Okay, so this one I have actually asked INFOR regarding this and I still couldn't get the reply from them. Okay, so it's very important that you name your unit name properly. Okay, so I'll just try it. Okay, maybe something like this. Save it. Okay, so if I name it like this, okay, it's a combination of letters, numbers. Okay, so the maintenance schedule, okay, will be carried over from the service item. Okay, this is the maintenance. It will bring over to here. Okay, so let's create another one. Okay, uh, something like this. Okay, same thing. The maintenance schedule will be carried over here. Right, so you don't need to like every time you create a new machine, you want to define the maintenance again and again. Okay, we just carry over from the service item. Okay, so what would happen if let's say I change here? Will it carry over to the other units? Okay, let's say I change the units maintenance schedule here. Okay, let's say I want this to be on different days. So it will not carry over to your other units. All right. So actually, why they do this is for you to have flexibility. All right. So let's say at the beginning, okay, you want all this to have the basic maintenance schedule, but you can actually add more if you want. Okay. So let's say this machine is older than this machine. Okay. So older machines, of course, you need to have more maintenance. Okay. So you can actually add more maintenance if you want. Okay, so let's say this one we have daily. Okay, uh, every day. Then let's say I use a daily maintenance here. Okay, something like this. So I can actually have multiple maintenance schedule. Okay, so if I create this here, your other units will not have the same one. Okay, so they actually have this flexibility in the APM. Okay. So any questions regarding this to create the units? Okay, so if no, all right. So there are some things here that I need to explain. Okay, so when you create your unit, you also have to select your customer here. Okay, why do I select? Okay, I actually created a dummy customer here. So why do I select this? Later on when we do the SRO transaction, you will see why. Okay, so next we have the custom item. Okay, if you want to have a custom item here for your units. All right, and then the unit status code just now I created. Okay, so status is actually to indicate the machine ready for maintenance or is it offline. Okay, so this one they have this functionality lah. So just now when I changed the status, it will have the history here, so you can actually write in the remarks lah. Okay, all right. Then the last meter amount, if you want to have maintenance based on the production, okay, so you can actually use it. Okay. Next, okay, in here the important part, okay, if you want to set the location of your machine, you can set here. Okay, so location here you can actually write if you want. Okay, then we have a hole here. Okay, a hole, this checkbox is to indicate whether your machine is in use or not, or let's say the machine is already obsolete. Okay, so you don't want to create more and more maintenance for your machine, so you can just tick here. All right, so this one is used to indicate that this machine is obsolete lah. All right, so this one is important. So let's say you have an old machine, you don't want to create any more maintenance, you just tick here and you save it. Okay. Okay, so you can actually also define your manufacturer name, okay, and all these things if you want lah. So when you click hold here, when you tick hold, you have to put in a reason. Okay, so I put here obsolete, so something like this. Okay, so this will indicate the machine will not be creating more maintenance schedule. Okay, please remember that. Okay, so customer just leave it be. All right, so for maintenance, so just now I already shown you. So this one also you don't need to actually look into, just this part. Okay, so when you create your SRO for the units, it will refer to here. Okay, this is the unit maintenance tab. Okay, so let's say if you do the SRO auto generation, it does not appear. Okay, so you need to check the maintenance tab in your units form. Okay, so this is where they will refer to if they want to create, if the system wants to create the SRO. Okay, and then we have the service history tab. So this one will be all the SROs that was created previously. It will show here. Okay, so this is the service history tab. So later on when we create the SRO, okay, it will appear here. All those SRO will appear here. Okay, so incidents not be using yet. Okay, owner history, this one also not be using. Okay, so the status history, so just now that I showed, when you change the status, it will appear here. Okay, so please, these are all the things that are important inside the units form. Okay, so any questions before we move on? Can I have some response, please?
No question, no question.
Okay.
No question.
Okay, so if it's already clear, then we will move to next part. Okay, the next part will be auto generation utility. Okay, so auto generation utility is where you always use where you will always create your SRO. Then later on, we will try to create a manual SRO. And what is the scenario where you create your manual SRO? Okay. So please, have you created your units? Let me check. As I see, only one. Okay, only Mr. Shafi created. How about the others? Try to create so that we can do together. Okay, this one also nicely done.
Moti, mana Moti?
Okay, it's only 84 here. All right, so please try to create your units. So I'll give you maybe 10 minutes from your service item, and then you create unit. So I need to see whether you are creator or not, because this is very important.
Okay.
Try to create. I can see when I can see if you are created the units or not. Okay, so I'll give you 10 minutes, and if you have any questions, you let me know. So Mr. Sufi and Mr. Ananda previously they have done it lah. So I'll give it a pass by others. Mr. Shafi have done. How about the others? So if you're not sure how to do it, then you can actually ask me the
No, the
question.
problem is what I'm facing. I'm doing from online from home. Unfortunately, I cannot log into the info system. That is the problem. But never mind, I just follow from all the data here.
It's okay. You because previously you have attended the training, and also I'm recording this session.
Yeah.
Okay, but this one, if possible, I'd like to have the others to do it as well. Alright. So now I only see Mr. Shafi done it. So never mind. I'll give it another until 11:10. I still see only one unit created. Okay. Let me check something. Okay, never mind. I will continue.
So test said he already created, but I not see.
Sorry,
So test, okay, he said that he already created, but I tried to get the unit's name.
is it
But
in this?
Muti not create because cannot log in to info, but he take a notes.
Okay, never mind. Because I didn't see here, but it's okay lah.
Mm.
Alright, so now we have the units. Gonna Okay, so now I saw Mr. Shafiq unit creation, very nice. Okay, so I will use my unit to create the maintenance. Okay, so how? Okay, there are actually three ways. Okay, three ways for you to create your SRO. Okay, one, you use automatic generation utility. Okay, so this one will always you will use this. Okay, another one is you manually create your SRO. Okay, then the third method is to copy a SRO. Okay, so I will actually show all three methods. Okay, so the first one, you will use a form called service order automatic generation utility. Okay, so in the live server, I've actually put in the shortcut here on the left side in the live server lah. So later on when you go live, you can actually just open from here, so you can remember which form to use. Okay, so this is the form where you just have to preview what SRO that needs to be generated for the day. Okay, so if I just click preview here, it will display all the units. Okay, so for this training purpose, I will not preview all. So you can see it will take some time. Okay, so these are all the SROs that need to be generated. Okay, so I've emphasized previously that when you must have one key person to always check this form. Okay, why? Is because you have a daily check, daily daily maintenance schedule for some of your units. Okay, so you must have a dedicated person to always check this. Okay, so I've emphasized this before lah. So during, in the live server, if let's say you haven't created any SROs previously, but you want to start creating, let's say you want to start next week Monday, so you need to change in your units form. You need to change your start date here for all your machines. So this is important. Okay, if not, it will actually display all the backdated SROs. Okay, so back to here. Okay, I want to create the SRO for my this unit only. Okay, like I mentioned just now, when you put in your start date, so meaning this is the first SRO that will be created on this date. Okay, so if I choose 7 days later, okay, I will have to. All right, so meaning if I haven't created the SRO for this, it will still display. Okay, let's say you preview on this date, it will display the previous date if you haven't generated your SRO. So please remember, this is very important. Okay, so now I want to create for today. Okay, so when I preview for my own unit, it will appear here. Okay, so in this one is just a confirmation for you to check. Oh, you haven't created an SRO for this date. Okay, so once you preview and you want to create for this date, I just click this commit button. Okay, then I process. Okay, so once you have created your SRO, okay, now you will have your SRO here. It will display the SRO number here. Okay, so because we assign our service order template to this unit, as you can see here, it will bring over some of the information that we have defined in the service order template. Okay, so this SRO we created for this unit. So these are the information that was copied over. As you can see, the department, okay, the lead partner, okay, and because we define the customer, it will show here. Okay, so why do we need this dummy customer? So later on, I will show you. Okay, and then also there are some information here that I need to show you. Okay, so there is a terms code here. If you want, you have a ship via, you have a price code here. Okay, and then in general, okay, this one also was copyable in the template. Okay, and then all right, you see the date here. Okay, this is the open date, meaning the SRO was created on this date. Okay, this is the start date. Okay, based on today, and then once you have closed the SRO, it will show here. Okay, so these are all not important. Okay, then you can see the line defaults. Okay, so this SRO, so just now when we create the service order template, I mentioned you leave the unit and item empty. Okay, so because of that, now it will copy over the units. Okay, the unit for this line. So meaning this SRO is generated to do maintenance on this unit. Okay, this is the unit that will perform on you will perform the maintenance on, and these are the operations below here. Okay, so that is how you create your SRO. Okay, so once you have created your SRO, then you can perform your maintenance. Okay, so let's see if there are other SRO created. Okay, so as you can see just now, Mr. Shafi also have created his SRO. Okay, so any questions about this? All right, so let me emphasize again, you must have a dedicated person. You need to assign to always check. Okay, this is the form to check, preview, and check all the maintenance that needs to be created. The SRO that needs to be created and then create it here. Okay, so that is how you use this form. Okay, so once this SRO was created on this date, if I preview again, okay, it will not appear. So let's say the following week, I check on this date, I preview, it will show this SRO that it haven't been created, that needs to be created on this date. So this is what we call preventative maintenance, okay, a planned maintenance. So it will always plan the maintenance date for you. Okay, so I created for this one. Okay, the same thing because we have the template. All right, you will copy over all the information and you are ready to actually perform transactions, okay, or operations for this unit. Okay, any questions regarding auto generation utility?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can, when you change to the to date, right? And we
True
can
date.
upfront see what is going to be the maintenance. But when I select my unit, I put 18th of March, and I click process on preview, didn't show anything like what you just showed.
Can I see your? Let me see your unit. Okay. This one might be, yes, you didn't tick the schedule feature here in your unit. Can you see?
Oh, okay, right, okay.
All right. So when schedule feature, then you will create a future maintenance date for you. So
Right.
let me refresh again. Tick this one, save it. Okay. Then try again here. Preview. Then it will appear.
Right. Thanks.
No problem. Any other questions? Okay, so once again, this is the form where you will always use to create your maintenance schedule. Okay, now let's move to creating a manual service order. Okay, so we create a manual service order and then we copy a service order. Okay, then we have a lunch break. Then when we come back, we will focus solely on the SRO transaction. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, I open this form. Oh wait, sorry to open. Okay, so in what situation or scenario we have to create a service, a manual service order? Okay, so a manual service order is actually ad hoc. Okay, ad hoc maintenance lah, meaning the machine is like suddenly break down or something like that, so you want to perform maintenance. Okay, so a manual service order, just very simple, you just create a new one in the service order form. Okay, then from here, okay, I just leave it. Okay, I just write a description here. So let's say, sorry. Um, Okay, I just put in the description here, maybe emergency, but this meant something like that. Okay, so then I put in customer here. Okay, so from here also you can manually assign your information. Okay, so I pass to this guy. Okay, then I put in the SRO type as ad hoc maintenance. Okay, so this is a manual SRO lah. So you just create new, put in the description, the information here, right? Okay, and then important part, you have to create your lines. Okay, your line and your operation. Okay, so once you created your SRO header here, okay, then you go to lines and operation tab. You click lines here. Okay, then here you key in the information that you want. Okay. Okay, select your unit. This one is important. Okay, so the maintenance will be performed on this unit. Okay, then you end your operations. Okay, maybe something like this. Another one. So this operations is depending on what operation you want to perform lah. So like let's say emergency part replacement. Okay, so if it's not, if there are no operation code that you want here, okay, you can add it, all right, or you can just select from here. Okay, maybe I just do something like this. Okay, another thing is, let's say you want to create more description for this operation. Okay, so how do you create it? Okay, in this operation, you just select which operation. Okay, and then you have to add the notes. Okay, so when you add the notes, it will appear in your work order report. Okay, so meaning when you pass to the person who will perform the maintenance. Okay, so you can actually show the notes as well. Okay, so let's see these fixtures, right? I want to add some notes. Okay, there's a button top here. Okay, right, so I put here, please replace the faulty parts, something like this. Okay, so you can actually add individual notes to the operations. Okay, so notes is for you to tell, you have to add, we want to add more description to this operation. Why? Is because this operation code and the description, okay, there is a limitation, okay, on the length of the description. Okay, so if you want, you can add the notes to your operations. Okay, so that is how you create your your SRO manually. Okay, so once you have created your SROs, okay, later on I will show another way is to copy your SRO. Okay, but what I want to show you is actually the work order report. Okay, so once you have created your SRO, okay, you want to print your work order report. Okay, so let's say this is a normal scenario. Let's say you already created your your SRO here, automatic generation. Okay, then it will appear here. So I right click and I click details. Okay. Okay, and then from here, if you want to add more things to your SRO, you can actually add it. Oh, this one I use your unit administration fee, sorry. Okay, if I want to add more information here, I can add it. Okay, you want to add notes, you also can. Okay, let me just add one note just to show in the report. Okay. Exit by 10. Yeah, something like this. This one is just example. I'm not sure how. Okay, so I created the notes. Done. Okay, so you have to remember that when you, even though the SRO was automatically generated, okay, if you want to add more information, you can do it. Okay, you want to add notes in your lines, you can. You want to add notes to your header, you can just add here. This is for your header lah. Okay, in lines also, you can create your notes. Okay, so why I show you this, because this is a common question asked. Okay, they always ask, I want to put more description. How do I do it? Okay, so you can use notes. Okay, done. Then after that, I want to print this and send to the maintenance guy. Okay, I just click this button here. Then I click this order report. Okay, then from here, I also want to print some notes, operation note, SRO notes. Okay, then I click preview. So in this form as well, you can select. Okay, there are so many parameters here that you can use. Let's say I want to print all the SRO for certain units. You can do it. Okay.
Kate,
Yep.
can hold on to 2 minutes?
Sure.
I
You
need
have
to
a
relog in. Need to relog in the
sideline.
the info.
Okay. No problem. No problem. If you have issue, you let me know. Okay. So this is the standard report provided by INFOR. Okay. So yeah, Mr. Sufi, regarding this, you can actually if you want to request for customization also can lah.
Okay.
Right. So this one is a different discussion lah. But as you can see, this is the standard work order report from INFOR. It's okay. It's okay. Mr. Shafi, later you can print again. So I will show again how to do it. So later when you have relogin, then if any parts that you have issue, you let me know, I can assist you.
Okay, I'm in.
All right. So you go back to your service order and you select your SRO. Okay. Then you can do your adjustments if you want. Then you print your work order report here. Okay. I just select all this and I preview. Okay. Then once you print the report, it will actually show the overview, okay, of the SRO. So maybe if you want to have your own report, Okay, maybe we can remove some informations that is not going to be used, like example B2 and customer. Okay, and make it more nicer lah. All right, but as you can see, this is the notes just now. Okay, so this is the thing that we can see the overview of the SRO. Okay, one thing to note about is this SRO work order report is always changeable. Changeable in terms of your SRO status. Okay, so for example, this SRO, okay, that we printed is like a newly created SRO. Okay, so once you have done transaction, okay, or you change the status of the SRO, okay, so it will appear in the work order report. So that's what I meant by this report. We always change in terms of what operations or transactions you have done on your SRO. Okay, the report will have more information later on. So when we create the transactions later, you can see those information. Okay, so I would say that work order report is always is a good way to actually display the overview of the SRO. Okay, you always print it lah. This is some sort of a report to be sent to your person in charge. Okay, so now we have actually covered half of APM. It's very simple because I want to show you the parts where you always perform or do your operations. Alright, so we have the service item. Okay, we have the units. Okay, just a few forms actually. Alright, then the order automatic generation utility. Okay, and of course we have the service orders. Okay, so I have shown you how to create SRO using auto generation. Okay, and also manually create the SRO. Okay, but we also have one more way to create your SRO. Okay, so let's say, all right, I want to create an ad hoc SRO, but I just want to copy the lines here and the operations. Okay, meaning even though it's an ad hoc SRO, but let's say the operation is the same as the planned SROs. Okay, plan maintenance SROs. How do I just copy over this thing? Okay, there is a utility called quick create here. Okay, so let's say I want to create a new ad hoc SRO, but I want to copy all the information from here. How do I do it? I just click the quick create button here. Okay, then okay, there is a button here called only show templates. So only show templates, we only show SRO templates. Okay, so this is also a good way if you just want to select the template for the certain unit. All right, but let's say I want to copy from SROs, I can also do that. Okay, so let's say I use this SRO. Okay, then I keep line number, I keep operation number. Okay, let me see why it did not appear there. It should appear here. Let me see why. WM. Yeah, let me refresh it. Okay. not transactions. Okay. So I select this SRO, then I tick this show operation. Okay, if you do not have any items substitute or unit substitute, so this one, if let's say you want to copy to a different unit, you can select it from here. Okay, then okay, let me show you again. All right, so this one you select which SRO you want to copy from. Okay, then you tick these two things. Okay, then I tick here show all operations. Okay, then I just click OK. But if you want to select different partner, also you can select. Okay, and then this is the one. If let's say you want to copy over to a different unit. Okay, let's say you want to use a different unit or a different item, you can select it from here. Okay, then the unit of measurement also you can change. Right, so I just created from this for the same unit. Okay, so you can see here. All right, you just created an SRO, just copy from a different SRO. All right, so let's say this one, I already created this one, but I just want to have all this information. Okay, the operation the same, and line the same, but this one is actually an ad hoc maintenance. So I just select here. Okay, you create your SRO, you can manually change certain information that you want. Okay, you want to add more operation, you want to change your operation, you can also do that. Okay, do you have any questions?
Not yet, not yet. It's still doing.
No problem, no problem. Okay, so now I wanted to continue for transaction later on. So I will we will just create some exercises. Okay. So Mr. Shafi, you can continue doing until finish this part, and then we will go through again from service item lah. Okay, maybe we can create another no, not service item. We can create more units. Okay, and then we do the different maintenance also before we go for our break. Okay, so once you're done, Mr. Shafi, let me know.
Okay, done. I have a misconcept just now. So it means that after we transfer we want to copy, and it will create another line in the service order, isn't it?
It's not creating a new line. You create a new SRO. Can I see? Have you successfully copied?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it
I.
this one? Oh, this one seems like not correct.
Yeah,
This one.
just now create a new SRO and then click the quick create. I thought it's going to copy to the new SRO just create.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay. So it means it will create another SRO, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just like showing you different ways for you to create your SRO lah. So there's actually 3 ways. Okay. So the reason why you use quick create is, let's say, let me again repeat again. If like this one also, because you didn't have the unit, so this one you need to fix.
Okay.
Okay. So the reason why we use quick create is you want to have an ad hoc maintenance, but you do not want to recreate the operation and the lines and all these things, you know one. So that's why you use quick create. Okay. So once you copy over, you can change your information. So this one seems like there's some issue here because there's no unit. Maybe you can. Is it okay if I remove this? You can try again.
Yes, you can remove it.
Okay. Maybe just let me show you again.
So that is a problem. If we wrongly create, then we cannot delete ourselves.
It's not to say you cannot delete it. Like this one, right? Okay. Let me refresh it. Okay. So let's say I want to delete this one. Quick create, right? So if I want to delete this, there will be a problem here. So as you can see, a SRO line that has number exists. So what does this mean? Is actually you need to delete your operations first. Then you need to delete your line. Then only you can delete your header.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how do I do it? Okay. So this is a bit tedious. So that's why it is important that maybe later on you have time, you play around in your CRP first. Then when you are familiar with it, you can use in your life. Okay. So how do I delete it? I need to go through the operations first. Okay. I delete this. I delete this. So is this is the same as other things, like let's say for invoice as well. If you want to delete the invoice, you need to delete the lines first. Okay, it's the same thing. This rule is implemented in Sideliner. Okay, so I have to remove the line here as well. Okay. Yeah, this is still okay because you do not have any transactions yet. If you have any transactions, then you cannot delete it. Okay, so done. So that's how you delete it. Okay, so later on you can, if you want to delete this, you delete this and line, then only you can delete the header. So let me show you again how to use the quick create. Okay, so for example, I want to create an ad hoc maintenance. So this one is already ad hoc lah. So let's say I want to use this is the standard one. Okay, but bear in mind you can also change your SRO name here. You can still change it. Okay, so there's a flexibility over there. Okay, so I want to copy over this SRO into an ad hoc one. So I just quick create. Okay. Then I select SRO 003. I tick line number, operation number. Okay, so this one transactions, we do not have it yet, so we don't need to copy. Okay, but it is not recommended if you want to copy over transactions. This is not recommended. When you have an SRO already, that of course in the future you have already some SROs that you want to copy over that already has transactions, but I do not recommend it because the transactions might be different. Okay, then I click show operation. Okay, then this one is all this part here is to substitute the information. If you do not have any information that you want to change from the copied over SRO, you don't need to put anything here. Just leave it be. And just click OK here. Done. Okay. So I already have here. Okay. Then I just change this name. Okay, my line operation should have my unit and my operations. So if it does not have the unit item, you need to check back the SRO that you created previously. See the line operation, is it there or not? Okay, they copied over. All right. So that is how you use the quick create utility lah. So in my opinion, I think manual SRO is not recommended lah, because you might put in wrong information. Okay, not the standard information. But if you have a special case SROs that you need to create, then you may do so.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
So I think why the units is empty because when following your steps, so first thing we need to create the template. When we create the templates, but we didn't create any unit yet. So that's why I think I left the units there.
Yep. It's okay. We can go through from units again. So from there, you can actually familiarize with the system already lah. Because in
Yeah.
my opinion, service items you rarely will use it because normally we created it for you because from the master file that I have received, that I will create it. Okay, but I still have to show you if let's say you have a new machine, so you have to know how to create it lah. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, from the machine in the service item, you put in this information. Okay, then you go to units, you create your units. Then you must make sure that this maintenance step here is defined properly. This is the important part. Okay. The shadow feature here. Okay, the start date, of course, this is also important. And the template and the line. All right. Important. You save it. Okay, then from there, you use auto generation utility to generate your plan SRO. Okay. Okay, and then you also can create manually and you can also copy your created SRO.
Okay. Yeah, yes, I did the template. I already put the units.
Okay. Let me see. Have you created the copy SRO? Quick create. Let me check again.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's okay. You try create one so I can check lah.
Yeah, and then I got it.
So it's good that you keep practicing doing this. So once you are familiar with this, and no problem.
Okay, done. Yeah, done. 14. SRO 14.
Okay. Yep. Looks good. This one you must make sure you change this the SRO type and the hot maintenance. So and this one you change the hot maintenance and also you have to change the name here. Okay, so you will know that this is a ad hoc maintenance because if a plan maintenance, then we know it's a plan maintenance. Okay, so it must be separated lah. So it's a good practice to always check the information that was keyed in. Okay, so any questions regarding this? So I think you can actually create your SROs and no problem already, right? Okay, and then you can also print your order report if you want. Okay, so we have covered until this part. So we just left this one. Okay, but today we will try and do until we will keep repeating the steps until you are already familiar with it. Okay, so later perhaps now you can practice more. Okay, from the item creation to the service item until this part. Okay, then you have any questions or any steps that you feel you are stuck, you can ask me lah. Okay, so how about the others? Are you okay with this? Do you have any questions? Hello? Very quiet.
I think we need to eat.
Sure. Actually, okay. If you are okay with it, we can go on our lunch break already. But I do need, because I do need some more time lah actually. For the lunch break lah. So until what time your lunch break? Hello? From at the factory lah. At home is okay.
12:30.
Sorry?
12:30. 12:30.
12:30 your lunch break.
Yes, exactly.
Until what time?
Normally 1 hour.
Okay, okay. All right. So I'm assuming that you also have other things to do, right? So is it okay we have our lunch break now? Or you want to do some practice here? I mean, we can do some exercises if you
Yeah,
like.
I'll do one more machines. Yeah.
Okay, okay, nice. Okay, can. I'm okay, but I just want to continue the transaction after lunch lah, because that one also need to do more things. Okay, let us perhaps we can create another item.
Speak to feed.
Sorry, Mr. Sufi.
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh. Okay, let us go back to here. Items. For me, the things that you only need to concern yourself with is your machine definition lah. But for cost and inventory, and your spare part quantity, you have to liaise with your inventory department or something like that lah. Because they are the ones who only have the control for this quantity and the the cost. Okay, but in this case, we just want to create a machine. Okay. So again, if you're not sure how to create your machine, you can just select. You can filter by machine here in the product code, so you can refer to other machine as well. Okay, then just create a new one. Okay, then here maybe I put my prefix again. Sorry, large. Okay, then I'll use each. This one will be other. Okay, purchase product code. I have to use machine. Okay, so that is how you define your machine. very simple. Okay, so but for machine, you don't need to actually concern yourself with cost and quantity, only for the spare part. Okay, so please let me know if you have done your creating your item. So can I know who is following this? Is it you only, Mr. Shafi? Hello?
Yeah, I think everyone following. No. Everyone
I was
following.
okay. So you created your item. Maybe you just leave your mic not muted.
I follow.
All right. Okay. So we have created this item.
Yeah, mine done. Items. I'm moving on to units.
Right. Not yet. In service item, have you
Should,
defined? Oh,
sorry.
service item?
Service item template, is it? Oh yeah.
Not yet.
But
From
I
the
don't.
item, from the item you
But
create your item.
I plan to copy from the template, so I need to do the template first, right?
Yes, yes. But
Mm.
as you can see, I purposely set the tabs like this. See, from item to service item, units,
Mm-hmm.
something. Okay. So now we have to go to service item first. Okay, add on all these things if you want. If you don't want, then it's okay. All right. So here I plan to make a monthly check. Okay. So this one I put 30 days. Okay. Then start it today. All right. So from here, I want to create a new SRO template. Okay. But please do not do like that because there's some in life I already changed this to SRO template. Okay, but in live you can just right click
Okay.
and add. Okay, just remember that. So you just open a new
Mm.
form.
Mm.
This order templates. Okay, then from here, let's create a new one. Okay, so remember your template naming. Okay, you must at the end make sure follow the SRO type. Okay, so this one I put a con then monthly maintenance. Not enough space, I need to change. This one maybe. MM. So at the end, MM on predator. Okay, monthly. Maintenance. Okay, not enough space. Okay, then I put in the department, partner, monthly check. Important here. I save it. Okay, so please do all these steps together. Then if you're stuck somewhere, must make sure all is correct. When you're stuck somewhere, you let me know. So I created the template header. Now I create a line. Okay, leave this empty. For template, remember, leave the unit item as empty. So one, save here. Then operations. So operation, I will just select any operations that is available. That is all. So I have created the template. Maybe I'll bring this here. Okay, so I just copy this over. Make sure tick shadow feature. Okay, so have you done the service items part? Then I will move to units. We go through together lah.
Yeah, ongoing.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. We go through together. Take your time. Done this part? Have any issue?
I'm at operation side.
Okay.
Sorry, slow.
No problem. No problem. This is the purpose of this training actually. I have to
Custom
make
finish.
sure all of you are familiar with using this APM.
Operation done. So the template done. Okay, I'll copy from the template. It's up here. Okay, copy it. Let's save. Okay, when I choose my service order template in the or column,
It does not appear.
is appear, but why the date, duration, and everything didn't. Yeah, I think do something wrong. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it will only, this one, we only check for your SRO template here, SRO type here, but the frequency you still have to put in.
Oh,
Okay.
frequency. Oh, okay, okay, because we, okay, correct, correct, correct.
Yeah.
It's template, okay.
The template is to just copy over the information from there.
Okay, done, service item. Okay, done on the service item.
Okay, done here. Next we go to, so it's a good practice. I will normally like to copy the item here lah. So in the units, when I create new one, oh wait, fresh. Okay, create new one. Oh my god, this is the annoying part lah. Let me reopen the form. Okay. Here. Okay, put in the item here. Tab. Okay. So now I put in the unit number. So I put maybe RAD, ARCOND. Something like this. Okay. So I create this. So in the maintenance tab, should have your. Okay, like this one. Why did it appear? Because when my unit naming, there's some issue here. So I need to remove. Let's name something simpler.
Oh, okay, that's also.
There is I'm not sure what is the validation. How do they do it? Okay, maybe I.
Apa tu? Sekejap sikit lagi.
Hey,
Why did not appear? Okay. Then create another one. Okay, so it will bring over your maintenance schedule. Then I also want to put in my dummy customer. So later on this one I will explain why. Please remember that. Okay, status no need. And general. And okay. So that is all for unit. So bear in mind when you create your unit, you have to make sure the maintenance tab here is filled in correctly from service item. If it does not, it's because of your unit naming. You need to change it. Okay.
Okay, done on the unit.
Done. Good. Okay. Done on the unit. Next, you can start to generate your SRO. Okay, let's copy over this one. Preview. Let's make sure the date is today. Okay, simple only just commit. And then I click details. Okay, so now you already have your SRO. Very nicely done here. Okay.
Okay, Kit, I have one question.
Yep.
Okay, after I click the commit, and then we generate the SRO, and we need to open ourselves the SRO tab, is it?
Okay,
Or
when you press commit here, it will appear SRO here, correct? Number here.
okay, double. Okay.
Then you right click and click details.
Okay. Okay, done.
Okay, so that is how you create. Okay, so now you want to add. If you want to add notes for your header, you can. Okay. Okay. Okay, you want to add header here, you can do it. You want to add header to your line, you can you can add notes as well on your operations. So that one you can practice yourself. Then you can print your order report. Okay, so Mr. Shafi, what do you think? Can do it? No problem, right? Until here.
Okay.
All right.
No problem, no problem.
Wow.
I believe on me.
Sufi ada selalu refer dia.
Yeah.
Sufi master selalu refer dia.
Yep.
Refer yang simple boleh lah.
Okay, so this is your order report. So as you can see, this is the note, but it's not so nice here. Okay, perhaps maybe Mr. Sufi, you can this one design, not to say design like for the order report, maybe you can do something about it. I mean, you still have many days for this project, so I think you can. Okay, so that is all until here. So let's have our break. Is it okay?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my stomach also already bunyi-bunyi. Okay,
So we
let's
meet
have
again
our...
at 2 p.m.
Sure. Okay, we come back at 2.
Okay, Shafi'i.
Eh,
Okay, and the
aku
rest.
tengok
Shafi'i and the
ada
rest.
ada
Sorry?
sampel kena tengok.
Oh, 2:30?
Ah?
2:30, okay.
Boleh
2:30.
boleh je.
2:30, Because
Tak,
this afternoon is
tu.
most
It's okay,
important.
2 PM.
Sorry?
2 PM can.
2
Just
p.m.
joking.